This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Rich Post, John Baumes, Mike Mallet, and Chris Marquardt.
Good evening and welcome to the 31st Lap. I am Chris Marquardt. Joining me in the studio tonight, a whole cast of characters. First, above all, we need to welcome back Mike Mallet for a guest spot on the 31st Lap. We've got John Baumes, Tony Sometimes, and filling in for Rich Post, his close brother, dear friend of the show, Mitch Post. Mitch, welcome. First trip to the 31st Lap.
What's up, yo?
This is going to be an adventure when worlds collide right here.
Yeah.
We're coming to you live from the lavish Finger Lakes 1 studios in downtown Seneca Falls. Thanks so much for joining us. We're streaming live on FingerLakes1.com. Follow the links to see the show as it happens. Again, this is the 31st Lap, covering all brands of racing in and around the Finger Lakes region. We were going to be a little short-handed, but obviously we've got a full house in this evening. We've got pretty much everybody that we could ask for joining us tonight. Rich is off playing soccer, metaphorically speaking. He's not actually playing soccer. He's far too big for that. Mike is back. He's off from Fonda, not going to be taking part of the Lucas Oil Late Model Series event. We're going to catch up with Jeremie Corcoran a little bit later on. We'll talk about the announcement that Tony Stewart's going to be in town August 11th. Daryl Hilkert, A.J. Lloyd, and Derby driver Josh Decker also going to be in studio. So welcome to everyone.
How you doing?
Thanks a ton for making the trip out. John?
I'm here.
I knew that we were going to be seeing you, but I didn't know that we were going to be so lucky to have everybody else. This is great. Mike?
Yeah, I'm back for a week. I'm making a cameo appearance.
Can you believe this? How lucky are we?
Yeah, I know. It's been, what has it been, about a month? I told you when we started this whole deal in the summertime, once racing starts, I go racing. And that's where I've been the last few weeks. You know, I worked for the All-Stars. I was in Ohio with Baumes there the 1 week. We had a nice little time out there. Yep. And then I was down at Shangri-La too, seeing some pavement racing. So I've been done a little bit of everything here the last few weeks. So it's nice to be back. But again, the next 2 weeks I'm gone again. I got a conference next week and the 52nd annual Knoxville Nationals in Knoxville, Iowa here in 2 weeks, and then I'll be back in theory.
In theory.
I'll say in theory because you know me.
I know what's going to happen.
Let me check my schedule. Crap.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what's going to happen with that.
Yep. Yo, it's fan appreciation night again. Yeah, it's been it's a tough schedule here in the summertime, but don't worry. Hopefully at some point I'll be back.
That's all right. I can relate to that.
And I'll try to tell you more than the day of when I'm going to be here.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. It's all part of the game. Opening things on a little bit of a I guess you can call it good news, considering that conditions are improving.
It wasn't a good thing to see.
It was rough. At the Wade Decker Memorial at I-88 Speedway, Denny Decker flipped his street stock going into the first turn, caught a rut, barrel rolled the car. It collapsed the frame. The impact was strong enough to, as I understand it, split his helmet basically in half.
I don't know all the details of it. I was there, and it was a nasty wreck, to say the least. The track was less than desirable, and I'll use that term loosely at this point. I feel bad for Ron and Jamie that run I-88 Speedway. They were in a no-win situation. They got a ton of rain on Sunday and Monday, and the track just would not cooperate with them. It was rutted up real bad. They worked on it all night long, and they just could not get that track to come back. And unfortunately, the sun was out all day on Tuesday, so you know how it is. If the sun's out, people expect to go to the races. If you don't race, then what's everybody going to do? Everybody's going to get on the internet and bash them and say, why aren't we racing, this and that? So they were in a lose-lose situation. They did the best they could with all things considered, and unfortunately they had the unfortunate accident at the end of the street stock race, about lap 22 of a 30-lap feature. Denny Decker again went into the turn, and the car dug in, and it was not a good ending in him getting air flighted out with a broken neck. We had heard rumors of that on Tuesday night, but it wasn't confirmed until Wednesday morning. The good news is, though, as most of the updates that have been coming in, that surgery was successful to repair his neck. There was no damage to the spinal cord that they can see. So they're hoping that once the swelling goes down, he'll regain feeling and everything will be back to normal as is once he goes through all the process. So I know it's tough for everybody involved. It's a Wade Decker Memorial. If anybody doesn't know who Wade Decker is a driver from the Southern Tier who died in a logging accident. And that was unfortunate, and this was a night to honor him and remember him. The place, that was the biggest crowd. I mean, I worked at I-88, and it was the biggest crowd I've ever seen at that racetrack. Anybody that's been there, I mean, I got there at 6 o'clock. The gates opened at 5, and I was sitting down in the front row in the family section because that was the last seats that were available was the front row. So great to see that they had that kind of support for the event. Almost 50 modifieds, 30 street stocks, but again, it was tough seeing a relative of Wade Decker get hurt on this night. And have to be airlifted out. But again, prognosis has come out good that he should be able to make a full recovery, and that's some prayers answered because there's a lot of people that were worried about it, and a lot of people were scared that that could have been a life-threatening accident that happened. And unfortunately, I had to cancel the rest of the night after that because it was 11:30 at night. The track was, So again, I can't fault him for trying. You can only do so much with dirt racing. I don't know. You two guys don't probably have a lot of experience with knowing what clay does when you get too much moisture in it, but it was not a good thing. The modified heat races were entertaining, to say the least. It wasn't my car out there, so I was entertained, but I felt bad for the guys, because they're there to put on the show, and it was tough for them to race on the track the way it was. But, again, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So, but good. We send our well wishes to Denny Decker and the entire Decker gang, and we hoped, he makes a full recovery, and as soon as we get information on the makeup date for the modified portion, we'll try to pass it along.
We do have a raffle going on, so to say. I guess it's an auction. If you look behind, John, we'll go ahead and just bring that up for everybody at home. You'll see the Danica Patrick Got Milk poster. That's going to go home with the highest bidder through the course of tonight's show, so start throwing it up there. I believe the pre-show bidding got up to $8 so far.
Baumes is,
I'll go 9.
Oh,
yeah. Somehow I got volunteered my only $8.
Well, Jim just bid 9. You're out.
You're out.
Yeah, you're
Thank
done.
you.
You're done.
All right. You know what? I'll up him 1. I'll go up to 10. I'm a 10 spot on it.
She's got milk on her lips.
We got it till the end of the show, right?
This, of course,
we got to the end of the show.
Till the end of the show.
Come on, listeners.
So I want to see where the listeners take this. And Mitch Post, Rich's close cousin.
Mitch, that's a fine-looking beard you got there.
Thank you.
You got to get
How's
you.
Rich doing? How's my brother doing, man?
He's well, however you guys are related.
Is he my brother, right?
He's off.
He is not. Yeah. He can be.
He's a good dude, man.
Whatever you want it to be. He's off playing soccer with.
Well, call in there, buddy, and get that milk poster.
He usually does. I'm probably one of the few people in the world to have listened to every single episode you guys have done of the 31st lap.
Wow, we're sorry.
You're our ultimate fan.
Yeah, he is. He we can count on his one hit every week.
When we get to 50 shows and have a super fan roundtable, we'll have Jim.
Jim's on. Yeah.
Well,
who's
Jim? I'm
who are you?
Sometimes
who are you
is a
today?
Podcasting name for that I use on a.
I don't want to blow your.
Monday night.
Well, don't throw yourself under the bus here. You can be Jim tonight. You're all right.
And
just go with it.
And as owner of the network, I watch every show that you guys have ever done, and I gotta say that I don't even know who's on the show anymore. It's been 2 months since the 4 of you guys have been together.
Yeah,
the streak continues, and it's going to continue another 2 weeks. But
it'll be September. Yeah, it's going to be a while.
But we got Mitch.
Yeah, we got Mitch. I know
my
Mitch
heart is racing. My heart is racing.
Look at this.
Yep.
So actually, Mitch goes by an alias P-Spot on Sunday mornings every other week as the host of the musical Viral Spiral, which is the newest music program on Finger Lakes One, the newest podcast.
I've listened to every episode of that too.
Yeah, that's there was a previous iteration, and now
you've got a lot of free time. He's had one episode,
but it was great, and we're looking forward to it here in another 2 weeks. You've got the acupuncturist coming in, along with. I believe Nasty Habit's going to be in the studio.
And Jim Schreck.
And Jim Schreck's going to make the trip out. Great. That's going to be a good show.
Yes. Very cool.
We're looking forward to that, and it's great to have you part of the Finger Lakes One group and in a lead host role now. So we're really looking forward to that.
Thank you.
And Jim was...
Just call me Mitch.
Got a Chuck Yeager suit on over there.
I know.
I was working on my car when I was working on my car. I was underneath my car when I got the call. I hit my head on the transmission.
Where's the transmission?
Right above your head. That hurt.
See, he knows much about a tech of a race car or any car as we do, so it's good.
I'm on it.
You fit right in.
Well, like I say, I've listened to every episode, and I'm not a racing fan. I mean, it's the type of deal where I've learned a lot listening to your show. But, there's only so much time in the day and in the year to fit in diversions and hobbies. And you guys are obviously passionate about racing, so it's a joy to be able to listen to it. And I'm starting to...
I don't know if it's a joy to be passionate about it.
No, it's not, because I'll tell you... Do 14 races in 16 days and tell me how much fun it is.
Yeah, I
stop complaining.
Yeah, Mister, I've been to 7 races all year. I know. But hey,
I wish I could.
Yeah, I know. It's fun, and it is definitely a lifestyle. It's not a hobby or anything else. If you're into it, like I'm into it, it's a lifestyle.
There's
because
nothing else,
you can't. I mean,
your heart's racing.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, right now I believe I'm at 70 races for the year so far. I've been to 70 different events so far in 2012, and I'm hoping to reach 120. Wow. That's my goal. So that's where I'll be by the end of the year. So
I don't even go to the bathroom 120 times a year.
You smoke 120 cigarettes in a day, though. I had to give you a shot back. Hey, come on.
Oh my!
Hey, he's on our show. I can deal out the crap.
Yeah.
I've also been in here sitting where Chris is sitting for probably, since we've,
since you started this thing.
Yeah.
Maybe 400 hours of podcast
That's
producing.
Crazy.
But this is my first time that I've ever been on this side of it.
It's different, right?
It is different.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, it's
Back
fun.
there, I'm usually not too nervous about it because I'm too busy just being distracted. So.
Right.
You're always doing his job.
I'm producing this.
Like when it happens, like maybe you forgot to start the recording. No, I'm just joking. You're fine.
He always does that. He doesn't understand how much it hurts. Like, oh, man.
Oh, what are you going to do?
We got the DVR record. From there, everything else is fine. There's nothing else to worry about. The local recording will take care of all the other problems we could possibly run into, right?
That's the theory.
We're not going to have any technical difficulties tonight,
Of course, because you don't know how to do any of this stuff. You're not going to have any technical difficulties other than maybe your microphone gets muted.
I didn't say me. I said we.
He lumped you and him together.
Yeah. That's always rewarding. But I'm sure Jim was on his way to giving us a big compliment about our passion before I reminded him that there's nothing good that comes of this.
No, you don't have to suck up here, Jim. You can just come.
No, I mean, it was Chris and Mike episodes 1 through maybe 15 or something.
Yeah, well, no, Rich came in, about 5, 8?
No, he came in a little later
than that. Yeah,
it was
it was just us, and we had a table, and we were over there.
Yeah, it was totally different.
Yeah, and
in a way, it was kind of nice. It was a little more intimate. Well, actually, this is more intimate, but it was more...
just him and I yelling at each other for an hour.
And it was great.
It was fun.
Well, when you guys started, I was like, well, all right, these guys want to do a motor racing podcast. We'll see what this is all about. And about 15 minutes into the first episode, I was like, Jesus, these guys know everything.
You got to.
I'm like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I think I saw you after the first episode, or I think I produced the first episode. For
Maybe,
you guys.
you might have been here helping us, yeah.
And I think the show finished, and I said something like, that was awesome. You guys are good. This is great. I was so excited, and it obviously has taken off since then.
I don't know. Our ratings really stunk out loud last week. Episode 37 wasn't the hottest.
Well, that's been related to technical issues. You haven't had a full video show last week recording, so you lose those views. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it depends on who your guests are, what the weather is outside.
Yeah, it's a little different in the summertime because I think we get a lot of people that actually go to the races. Like tonight, there would be people that are probably listening now that would have been at Fonda tonight for the Lucas Oil Late Model Show, but because it rained out this morning, they didn't go. Last week, I was at Fonda for the All Stars, and in that place, they had Tony Stewart there, and the place was packed.
Yeah, in the last couple of weeks, there's been a race almost every single day. So
every
race
day.
Fans will be at the track rather than home listening.
The only night I have not been able to find a race to go to has been Monday nights. That's it. Monday nights is like everybody's burnt out from the weekend. Let's take a night off, recover, and then go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You could have hauled to Canada on Monday, but then you would have been disappointed.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drive all the way to Granby to get rained out.
Well, the thing about the views and who's listening and if they're busy or not, got to push people to, if they got a smartphone, like this to.
Mine's a dumb phone.
Go to, I don't know if you can see this here, but you go to Stitcher, Stitcher.com.
Look at that. How
And
about
you
that for a
download
plug?
the app, and it'll load on your smartphone, and then you can actually find the 31st lap, and every new episode will be there. So you can be in your car, plug this into your stereo. You can be mowing the lawn, plug it into your earphones, and listen to every episode. And also, if you subscribe on YouTube to FingerLakes1.tv, every episode will come there. Because like I said, I listen to every single episode you guys have done. But it's not like I sit down on I got Google TV at home, so I've watched it on my TV sometimes.
Man.
But
How cool is that, huh?
Yeah.
I tell you, it's super easy. People don't realize. Some people have Google TV.
My dad's got it at home. We watch YouTube videos and everything on that thing all the time.
Yeah, pull up in the Chrome browser, FingerLakes1.tv, and he can watch this show every week
That's
from his
sweet.
couch. What was the other thing I was going to say? Stitcher, YouTube, Google TV. Oh, yeah, I just said, for all 38 episodes I've listened to you guys, I didn't, sit down on my couch and make popcorn and, But
We're not that riveting, Jim. Is that what you're telling us?
some, I have watched some on the couch.
But no, I think what he's saying is that he can't possibly eat when he's looking at her mugs.
Yeah. The glare off my forehead gets everybody, I know.
But a lot of times I'm either in my car or mowing the lawn or at the computer at work with it playing in the background. So there's no excuse for everybody to not listen to every single episode because you just got to work it into your lifestyle workflow.
I download it on my iPod, then I have it in my car. Yeah, you can plug it into the radio, and I can listen to stuff.
And he makes all his friends listen to the show on loop when they go to the races.
Oh yeah, I feel bad. Like if anybody rides with me to the races, and I take my Jeep, my car's sold. We didn't have that technology then when I bought that. But no, if I take the Jeep, it's all 31st lap all the time. If you don't like it, tough crap because you're in my car, and I'm in control of the radio. So deal with it.
All that stuff is great, fine, all well and dandy. But if you have a smartphone, you better have a smart person to be able to operate it.
Well, that's why you don't have
that's
one.
That's why
right?
I don't have a smartphone. You got to be smart to use it.
Mitch, how about you? You got a smartphone?
Yeah, what kind of phone you got?
I
Mitch?
got a, it's like a cell phone. Can you see it? Look at it. Look at see it. We look right into it. Look.
Yeah, he's got.
That's the eye. That's the cover of the cover of the CD, isn't it?
Yep. Well, it's the eyeball.
It's just the eyeball.
It's not my. It's my blue eye.
And now your phone's gone black.
Well, it's like a smartphone, but it has text messaging on it, and it's got a fax machine on it or something. It's hooked up to. It's like a. Fax.
You know what? Life was a lot easier when that's all we had. I'll tell you
that.
that.
Sure was.
Oh, my God.
Send faxes
I
too.
send you a fax message, but no one's answering me back.
Yeah, before Twitter or any of that other stuff. But Twitter again, don't forget to follow at 31st Lap, and of course
we're up to 31 followers, which I think all things considered, we should probably just stop right there.
No, we're good, and we're getting there. And you can follow me too at DTD Mike, and I try to retweet everything that we tweet with the 31st Lap, so that way we get it out. I'm almost to 1,000 followers. I am almost important.
You got 31 followers, but now you need 131.
Yeah,
right. That's the next goal.
131 or 100.
Oh, I think 32 would probably. I think 32 would be
we'll
reasonable.
get there.
Did I hear? Did I hear $32 for the poster?
Yeah, that's what Chris said.
Okay.
With anything with a social media like Twitter,
already?
You say you have near 1,000 followers, but I bet you that the way it usually works and how it will probably work with your podcast Twitter account is you will languish maybe for a year or longer in that, high 30, 40, 50, and you'll eventually get to 100. It'll be great. But you reach a point where it just kind of takes off.
That's what happened to me. I was in, this year, I was about 350, 400 followers, and I was down in Florida, and I was tweeting results from for people that were in Ohio, everywhere, and somebody put my handle, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what the hell it's called.
Your
but
CB handle.
I guess that's what it's called. I don't even know what it's called.
It's your Twitter handle.
My Twitter handle, yeah. Well, somebody put it on a couple of message boards in Ohio and Pennsylvania. I went from 300 to 700 like that. It was crazy how fast it went up.
And part of that's because you, over the first year or two or however long it was, really, kept with it and built up slowly to 200, 300, and then there's more opportunity for it to explode when you got that base of 200 or 300 people.
Yep, social media coming around.
Chris, are you getting any activity on the poster?
Sonny's talking to us, and she said that Danica can keep her milk. And another gentleman. And this, I'm going to throw this up just so that we can see Mitch at the same time. Somebody just texted in "holy mustache."
Mustaches / squirrel tail.
Oh, come on! Why you gotta hate on the beard?
Listen, everybody on this game or on this show is an equal opportunity to make fun of. So if Rich isn't here, Mitch has got to take the abuse that Rich takes.
Cousin brother
And
Mitch.
I'll take it.
since Mitch isn't Rich's size, we got to find something else to pick on.
I know.
Yeah.
That's-
Normally it's just fat jokes, right?
You know the thing is when we came in for the viral spiral, usually the host either gravitates to this if they're also going to produce, or they gravitate to the chair that Mike's in right now. And P-Spot tackled that chair because it had the funky tribal scheme on the back,
love it, man.
and he was dying to get his hands on that. And he's the only host that has been just killing themselves to get into that chair. Mike's in it, and Mike
like
gets
I was
stuck
in
in
it.
it.
I am not a fan.
It's like an elephant tusk.
So, Chris,
It's all right.
there's no activity on the poster online?
Nothing right
Nothing?
now. No, but apparently I got beat into a $30 bid.
It's
I
a
don't know how that happened.
What if-
life-size poster.
What if I threw in a free team for the Super Dirt Week Challenge?
There you go.
Oh, so now we're up in the
All right,
ante.
so
There
it's
you
a
go.
free team
And a
for Super
poster.
Dirt Week and a Danica poster.
Yes.
I'm going to
In
throw in a
life size.
fingerlakes1.com T-shirt, not
Whoa.
unlike the one I'm wearing right now.
Wow, look
There
at
you
that.
go.
All right. We've got advertisements and self-promotion all night long so far. We're good.
That's a life-size Danica Patrick with milk on her lips.
And a life-size fingerlakes1.com T-shirt.
If you're a medium, no.
Which
We got all sizes. We got double up to double X.
Up to double extra fat. You're good.
Oh, man.
if you're a medium,
right now.
Hey, listen, I like double extra fat. That's what I normally wear.
And it's a one-size-fits-all free
Why-
team on
why?
Yeah.
Super Dirt Week Challenge.
Wow.
Well, how about that? So,
Racing.
before we digress any
Dive
further, we
into
do
racing.
need to get Jeremie on the phone. Jeremie Corcoran coming on from Canandaigua Motorsports Park.
I'm going to take off, guys.
Oh, what?
Go
You're
on.
not
What,
gonna hang
Jimmy, too
around?
good to hang out now?
I'm running some tests on some equipment downstairs. That
Are
may
you going to
eventually
Amy's?
benefit this podcast.
Hey,
The after party's at Amy's.
I'm going to
Jeremy.
Amy's Checkered Flag tonight when we're done.
Have you ever been to Amy's?
I've been there once, and I was supposed to be there again, but I had a race.
You're going to spend a lot of time just walking around the place looking at the walls.
Yeah, I was in there. The first time we were in there, I think I spent the first hour looking at the walls. Then I gravitated toward the, whatever that shuffleboard table there. That
Yeah.
was entertainment. I like those games.
Yeah, that's generally museum.
Yeah,
Almost,
it's
you know?
amazing in there. If you were to go in my basement, it's similar because I have sheet metal like that all over my basement, a.k.a. the man cave.
I got one
But I
of my
guess my-
hubcaps there.
Yeah. Do you really?
One of my hubcaps are on the wall there.
That's
I
nice.
think it was.
At
Mike's house? Yeah, at my house. No.
Who's going to Amy's?
I'm going to Amy's. Are you going to Amy's?
I don't know, man. Where she live?
Right down the street.
But
Right on
seriously,
this
guys, I
road.
love the show, and I will
Thank you, Jim.
listen.
Yeah,
to
thanks
the
for
end of this
stopping
later.
by. Glad to
Yeah,
have
I'm
you here.
glad you stopped in. Sometime you got to come, and we won't book so many guests, and you can stay all night.
And don't worry, I won't be here, so you can fill in.
Yeah, yeah. What are you doing next Thursday? We're looking
Yeah.
for help.
Yeah.
It's Thursday?
It's every Thursday. Yeah.
It's Thursday, Mitch.
See, I'm
Thursday.
almost,
Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I'm almost to that point. What day of the week is it? Because I don't even know.
I almost think that Jim came to sit in for 15 minutes because we just got a lecture from the chairman of the board.
Yeah.
A little bit.
No, I'm your biggest fan, guys.
I know. Super fan. Lead super fan.
See you later, everybody.
Have a good one.
Thanks a ton.
Bye.
Thanks for everything, by the way, front to back.
Thank you,
for
Jim.
helping
Yeah.
letting us have the show and everything. It's letting us have the live show and letting us bring all the stuff over to Canandaigua Speedway August 11th when Tony Stewart's in town for the ESS race.
Yes.
And yes,
Somebody who is more than capable of talking about this topic, Jeremie Corcoran, joining us on the line here in just 1 second. Got to get this thing
All
set
right,
up
get-
so that we
get
can
it all
have
figured out
Yeah,
again,
we gotta
so-
get it. Got to get it pegged.
So the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints again will be at Canandaigua Motorsports Park on August the 11th, Saturday night. And the big news that came out here the last few days, of course, that Tony Stewart is making an appearance to race. And joining us now, as we mentioned, Jeremie Corcoran from the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. Jeremy, how you doing tonight?
Oh, good. Good. Glad to be on.
How excited are you about the announcement? I think that's big news. We've seen Tony Stewart race at Brewerton and Fonda, and now you got him coming to Canandaigua. How excited are you to have him there?
It's great. I him and hawed about signing it, because, he raced for us last year and all that stuff, but, without using his name and all that stuff, it makes a big difference. Like I said, it had a huge impact on the other two tracks and stuff like that. So, yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good deal for us, Bring, some new fans and all that stuff. That's kind of why you do it, and some NASCAR fans to see what we race on a normal Saturday night,
Yeah, I was wondering what the reasoning, I mean, I'm assuming, you talked to Harvey Fink over at Brewerton, and he told you about what happened. And, how important is it for Canandaigua to bring in new fans, those kind of fringe race fans that I like to call them, people that only go to NASCAR tracks?
It's huge because you need that because, to bring any new fan into the sport is huge in itself. Because you lose some every year, people find different things to do, so we have to try to get new fans and new faces into the stands to see what we can do, and not only at Canandaigua, but any other track. The economy's tough, so we try to get whatever you can, new fans and new faces, and, we've done that with some other shows and stuff like that. People have come for the first time, and people love what we put on, and we've got them back for fans weekly, so it's a good deal, and hopefully Tony does the same thing,
So far, I've heard nothing but positive things coming out of the regular Saturday night program. Seems like you guys have had a really strong season out there. Is it better than your first season?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this year is just because, one thing is the weather. I mean, I think we lost 8 shows last year, and this year we've only lost 1. The last couple of weeks have been down on fans quite a bit, and, I don't like to see that, but between the graduation parties and the heat, I mean, who wants to, as a fan, who wants to go sit when it's 90 degrees out at 8 o'clock at night still, and
Right.
people just decide not to come, but this Saturday was good, and hopefully the fans, just started to come back and all the things kind of quieted down on what they're doing on weekends and come enjoy a Saturday night with us.
Now, you mentioned you haven't had a lot of rainouts. One of the things I always wondered, is it more difficult for you when you don't have any rainouts to kind of regroup and get things set back the way it's going, or do you like the fact that you've been able to run without even any of those nights off?
I'm a go-getter. I like to go anyways, but it'd been nice to have a Saturday off just to kind of regroup things and employees and all that, They're all on edge, and, because we haven't, you run weekly, but, it's like a routine you get into. It's, you take a Sunday off and do things, and I'm back at it Monday, Saturday again, and it's the same for the racers. They work on their cars and do whatever with their families, and next thing you know, they're racing, so... And, this Saturday we have off because of the fair, and it's actually a good break for everybody's employees. And I'm still going to be out there. The demos going on and stuff like that. But for the racers and my family and stuff, it's nice. They're going to stay home. I don't even know what they're going to do.
Through the demolition derbies, you mentioned Tony Stewart bringing in different fans. Do you find that having the demo derbies and things like that during the fair, does that help your fan count too? Help bring in other people that may not come to a regular Saturday night program?
Yeah, I mean, we're advertising out there with Tony. We had a demo this past Tuesday out there, and, I had him announce it and stuff like that, and the lady was actually buying a beer, and she's like, oh, my God, Tony Stewart's coming here, you can count me in. So there's one fan that we hit with that announcement. And, yeah, I mean, it's Tony's great, and if there were some other drivers that we could get out there to do, he loves racing dirt, so, he tries to, he owns a racetrack, and he knows how short tracks are, struggling and all that. By using his name, hopefully we'll be able to hit a home run. I don't know. I don't think it'll be anything in the Honda. I'm not expecting that just because, some people are there just for the 410 sprint cars, not saying anything bad about the ESS or anything like that, but, some people, it's hard to tell if all them fans came just for Tony, or was it a 50-50 or, that split. So, I mean, I wanted to try it. I knew he was racing for us last year, and we couldn't announce it. And now announcing it, we'll be able to really tell once the Saturday night's done, and what if it was a lot of him that brought it, or if it was a whole pack show, or what. So it's last year we had some rain that was coming in. Unfortunately, we did rain out. I think at least three quarters of the way through the show, and hopefully the weather's beautiful and we do good.
Yeah, I know Brewerton and Fonda, those were probably the 2 biggest crowds I've seen at those 2 tracks, and the most media coverage. I was fortunate I got to announce both of those, and it was amazing just the local media that came out, too, to give you that added exposure. It makes whatever the fee and whatever you got to do to be able to make him come, it makes it worthwhile. Have you had any inquiries yet from local media and news channels and things like that?
No, I haven't. We're not. We just announced it and stuff like that. And the ties in Canandaigua with the TV coverage and stuff like that, it's hard because you got Rochester area and the market is. We've contacted them on other stuff, and we don't get a response back. I just don't know if it's short track racing they don't want to be involved with or what. It's hard to say. I'm doing TV commercials with it and all that. I'm going back with Time Warner Cable right now, so there's be some TV coverage coming out, and Coke's doing some pretty good deals with us with banners and posters and all that stuff. We're going to do something to the newspapers and the internet, of course. But I'm definitely going to try to have somebody reach out and try to get some television coverage. But just being in that market, I think so far away from Rochester, I just don't know. It's been tough. It's been a struggle with them, And in the past, I know. Being involved with Brewers and the Fulton, they've always had a tie to News Channel 9. So it's, once you get a tie with somebody, as long as they stay working there, you got an in with them, So that's what's nice,
Well, hopefully, like I said, it has the same effect. Because I know when I was at Fonda on that Thursday night, there was 3 reporters in the tower from the local newspapers that had never been to a dirt track before, ever. The guy sitting there asking me, he's sitting there asking me questions about what's going on right now, what are they doing? Like, he had no idea. So hopefully you guys will be able to have that same kind of draw, and it hopefully will boost everything like it's boosted everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great to have, but I'm not one to have high expectations on something until after the event's over, I guess, and see what hopefully it works out. It could be a total failure. I don't know, but I don't see that happening. But like I said before, I don't think it's going to be anywhere where I wasn't that fond of, and I wasn't at Brewers, but I just heard about it. I live 100 yards off the back straightaway, Brewers and Speedway, but I know they had a good crowd and all that, and hey, hopefully it works out. We can do it years. As long as Tony keeps doing the deal what he's got, we'll keep doing it every year. So it's nice to announce it. And it's tough that he's racing and you can't do it like we did last year. We found out on Thursday and we just couldn't announce it. And now he's got this program that you can do that, and it works out good for him and works out good for the tracks. And, more people should take advantage of it if you can afford to do it. That whole pack show is, it's an expensive purse for me. Everybody thinks that, being a track promoter and all that, I just rake in thousands of dollars a night. Like what it costs to open seats and every night, especially when you put sprint cars on top of a normal purse, and then you add this deal in. I didn't even raise the price because Tony's doing it. I just took it out of the racetrack money, and hopefully we'll get some return on it.
What are you going to charge for that night so fans know, and that way they can prepare ahead?
$19 for general admission, $5 for kids and under, and pits are $30 and $32. So
that's a great deal.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better than that. I know, usually just for an ESS show, it's around that price. So that's awesome, Jeremy, that you're keeping the price like that.
Yep.
I got to ask you, how's your weekly 305 sprint cars going? While we're on the topic of sprint car racing and everything else.
Excellent. Through the winter, you don't know where you're going to start with a new class, and we started out with, I think the first night, I want to say we had 4 or 5 maybe. It might even be high on that. We only had 3, but now we got 9 or 10 weekly, and I was out to Utica last night, and I ran into some guys, and, of course, with being involved in the racetrack, I don't know everybody, and everybody kind of not knows me, or not everybody knows me, but, hey, Jeremy, I'm such and such and stuff like this. I'm thinking about running a 305. And, what's your thoughts on it for next year? And they're there. Fortunately, the rumors in racing is what a lot of people call them. All the rumors, you don't know if you're going to have them because you don't have a full field of cars. Well, I handed out business cards, and I said, well, if you ever talk to anybody that says that, well, I heard that you're not going to have them, I said, give them my business card and have them call me because I'll put a stop to the rumors because they're not going anywhere. The way I got it is what's brought in through the back gate is paid out in their purse, and next year if we get 15 or 20 cars or a full field, it'll just be a full purse, a weekly deal, So it's great. I'm excited about it, and there's a lot of people that are excited about it. They just didn't know. It's just like any track starting a new class. Well, is it going to be around next year? And that can be expected, but they're there to stay, and they put on a great show. I think they're averaging 102, 103 miles an hour. Them guys aren't lifting, and everybody was kind of shocked at how fast they are. Be hearing a 305 compared to a 360 and all that stuff. They thought they were going to be kind of slow, and the way we got it with the four-wheelers, they push them off in the pits. They're running, and it's just like a modified or a sportsman. We go one lap and give them the white flag, and we're racing. You know, we got that program down pretty good, and it's a good thing. You know, and the fans they're actually liking it. You know, you just don't know when you bring another class in too if the fans are going to like sprint cars or 4-cylinders or something like that. But you know, we ran them last a couple of times, just how we changed the schedule around and stuff, and there was quite a few fans that stuck around to watch the sprint cars. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Makes you feel good that, you know, people walk out, hey, that was a good show. I like these sprint cars. So it kind of makes you feel good, you know.
I like the fact that there's, you know, that weekly deal. I've always wanted to see a track in New York run sprint cars weekly. You know, obviously Black Rock tried it, and it was a Friday or Saturday night deal against Canandaigua, so that made it difficult. But it's nice to see a track starting a weekly 305 class. 'Cause I think eventually that's going to help the 360 divisions in New York because you're going to grow. It's almost like a feeder division.
Yeah,
Which
you
unto
can move
itself
up.
doesn't need that much help because it's flourishing.
Oh, it's doing very well right now. Yeah.
Well, 360 division is flourishing all over the country.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, what else, besides the Tony Stewart night, what else big you got going on? You got the Derby this week. What else you guys got on the schedule here as you roll through the summer?
Well, we got just a couple normal weeks, and then in September, for the Labor Day weekend there, we got a 40-lapper and a double point for modifieds, and then we got the Les White race following that for street stocks and pure stocks, and then I think we're off. I don't have a schedule in front of me. I think we're off a week, and then we got the 358 Super Dirt Car Series on a Friday night for small blocks, and then Saturday we have Mudapalooza right after that. We know we had a mud bog last year and stuff. Then we end for the year and enjoy the winter, I guess.
You know what? You got something to say, Chris? Go ahead.
I had a question for
Go
you.
ahead.
It was coming in off the live chat. Some fans were wondering if you were going to have anything to do with the Sportsman and 358 races that were scheduled during Super Dirt Week.
No, not as right now, because you know, I don't know. Probably everybody in the world's heard this. You know, up in the air about rolling wheels being sold and Wheat Sport being sold, and I don't know what's going to happen there. You know, I won't be doing nothing myself with Wheat Sport this year, just because of the fact that you know, they put it on their schedule. They were actually going to run it, I guess, and I don't know what's going to transpire after, you know, once the sales happen or not, where that race is going to happen or not happen, or what I can't. Or World Racing Group.
You know, I got to say, Jeremy, I haven't been to Canandaigua in a few years, so I can't really speak for myself, but I will say that since you've taken over now these last couple of years, I've gotten nothing but great feedback with how you've been running the show, and the track conditions have been unbelievable from what I have gathered from knowing a lot of people who go to your track weekly and seeing a lot of posts on Dirt Track Digest or Facebook and things. The feedback, there seems to be a lot of positive stuff at Canandaigua since you've taken over, and I just wanted to commend you for that.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I put my heart and soul in everything, and you know, it's great that, you know, you have compliments and stuff like that, and you know, you have the negative things that, you know, you did this wrong or you did that wrong, and you know, that's out there. But you know, I just had a drivers meeting a couple weeks ago, and had some problems with some racers and stuff, and it brings you down when you go on. Or I don't go on a lot of internet stuff just because I take it too much to heart, and you don't want to badmouth the track surface or something like that. You know, it's tough, and it's been the same people for the amount of the years it's been Canandaigua. You know, the same. I don't want to say complainers, I guess, or whatever, but they complain all the time to Dirt and to World Racing Group and all that, and it's just. But no, I'm not to get sidetracked. I had a guy call me from North Carolina a couple weeks ago. Said he was going to come up this past Saturday and watch a race, and he'd come up, and he actually couldn't find. He got lost, and I got him to the track and all that stuff, and he called me yesterday and said that you know, hey, it's the first time I've ever been to a dirt track, and he goes, it was great. The racing was great, and of course Saturday we had a 3-wide race for the last 5 laps, and the guy goes, you know, I've never seen anything like that before, and we're actually coming back, and we're going to spend the week up here for Dirt Week because you got us into dirt racing. So that kind of makes you feel good that you know, you made an asphalt fan in North Carolina come up here for a weekend and go to a Saturday night track and love it, and you know, get out of there at a decent time. And like that one Saturday was late because we had some wrecks and we had the autograph session and all that, and that takes a while itself. But
right.
The guy said just the way the show's run, and I'm fair with everybody, and I treat everybody. There's no favoritism there, and I've never been that way. And some people say that's a downfall of me, but in your business I'm in, you can't have favoritism because it just doesn't set well with other racers and other fans and all that stuff, you know. But everything's good.
No, I thought it was great. I just wanted to give you a pat on the back because in today's society, with everything
you don't get that
so
much.
negative, everything is negative all the time. So with you guys, the last 2 seasons now, it's been nothing. For the most part, it's been all positive, and I just wanted to say, great job.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I joined Wendy and Greg Emerson. They do for the Big Motor Media. They do my website, and they take a lot of joking from me because I know how, with the Facebook thing and all that stuff. And then when we put the prices out there for the show, and I wanted to get it out before the Tony Stewart signing, but with the Tony Stewart signing and all that stuff going back and forth, I just kind of forgot to text him and say, hey, put the general admission price out. And then when I did, I go, well, let the complaining begin, because it's just, unfortunately, there's some people out there that...
Yeah, there's some people that's all they got to do.
Oh, and I'm not pointing out anybody, and I mean, they're great fans and all that stuff, but unfortunately, it's just, they like to complain. You can charge $1 for a hot dog, and they're going to say, why didn't you charge me 75 cents?
Yeah.
So,
and that's correct.
Yeah, you're right. You can't, there's some people you can't win, no matter what you do.
Some people just can never be pleased.
Yep.
Hey, that wasn't a hot dog.
Right.
Yeah.
It's only 10% of it, you know what I mean? There's only 10% that are out there that do that. Other ones are great. I mean, I'm a very interactive person with the fans. I mean, if you say you didn't go to Canandaigua, I don't know if you heard, but every night I try to go out and throw T-shirts in the grandstands, or Terrell Potato Chips gives us little bags of potato chips. I'm out every night throwing bags of potato chips to kids and adults, and it's amazing what the interacting is that with throwing bags of potato chips. People are going nuts about it. Shane's pumping them people to do that, and I've got a lot of, man, I go to this racetrack and they don't do nothing. I go to this other one, they don't, how do you do with the fans coming up and thanking you? And then, you get the people that complain about, the dust, the wind was blowing the wrong way, the dust is in their face, and, but you got to do it. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, and 90% of it's good, and to being involved with the fans, I think it makes a difference, because if I get too busy, I don't sit down. I'm not, if anybody ever sees me at a racetrack, I'm very seldom sitting down. I'm either in a water truck or a four-wheeler or a packer, or, running around, and the people just, they like seeing that, and it's kind of cool to watch, everybody says it's nice to watch you run around, because you're never sitting around doing anything,
Well, yeah.
You're interactive with whatever you do at the racetrack.
Well, a lot of times you go to a racetrack and you may know what the guy looks like, the guy that promotes the place. That person, you may know what he looks like, but you don't ever see him. You never see him throughout the course of the night. So that's good that the people actually see you out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good. Jeremie, anything else you want to take a chance to plug? Maybe tell them about your website and where they can find you on Facebook and all that, so that way if fans want more information about the Tony Stewart event, they can find you online.
Yeah, it's just CanandaiguaMotorsports.com, or if you, we're actually having pre-sale tickets are on sale right now they're going to be here, and I just ordered them yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the World Outlaw late model tickets that I did. It's actually a laminated ticket and all that, because people like keeping souvenir tickets and all that stuff. And we've got the actual same thing coming for the show with Tony Stewart and a picture of Tony Stewart himself with a car, his sprint car on there. That way people can, keep them as souvenirs. I don't know what he's going to do for autographs and all that. It's kind of tough, especially being Watkins Glen weekend. It's going to be tough for him to get up there early and doing autographs or whatever, and that's really not part of the deal. But if that's up to Tony, if he wants to do it, hopefully I'm going to have some shirts signed and throw them out in the grandstands is what I'm trying to do that night, just to, that way so people can get some of that stuff. But, no, just come out and enjoy it. You don't have to come just for that big show. We can come from any night, and we'll put on a heck of a show for you guys, and hopefully everybody enjoys it, and hopefully Mother Nature cooperates with us on that Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jeremie, we do want to say thank you for coming on the 31st lap, and good luck to you here the rest of the way, and always great to talk to you, and we'll see you down the road.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
So, again, Jeremie Corcoran, their promoter of the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. Tony Stewart coming on August the 11th as part of the Empire Super Sprint event. And it really sucks for me. I'm the series announcer for ESS, and I won't even be there because it sucks. Because it's Knoxville National. That's the one weekend every year.
What would you rather be doing?
Knoxville National. I love Empire Super Sprints, and I love.
Well, of course, but
love it. But
offense, it's not the Knoxville Nationals.
I've been at the Knoxville Nationals before I worked for ESS, and it is the event of the year. If you're a race fan, a lot of people talk about
the 31st lap, Dean.
Oh, we got a Dean.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, passing points still suck. talk, by the way.
Listen.
Oh my God!
Don't
is he
get
really bringing
smart.
that up?
No, I just got home and I just got on the show, and I told you guys to talk to Jeremie, and I just want to say that I'm looking forward to this as well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks for booking it when I'm in Knoxville.
Thanks for booking it on a weekend that I'm going to be down at Watkins Glen. We'll probably be available to come back up and do a live show at Canandaigua with the 31st lap live rig. I think that's probably.
Are you going to be able to do the live show or no?
It looks like we're going to be able to make it work.
Oh really? Oh, that'd be cool.
Are we going to be able to make this happen?
It looks like we're gonna try and find a way to make something.
I didn't want
happen.
to bring it up because I didn't know if Jeremie even knew about it. Does he know about it?
Let Baumes run the show because he can hook up all that electrical stuff.
Yeah, we'll
So we might
not
have
do
audio.
Oh man!
I want to I haven't called in a while. I figured
Hey, how was work today?
Me, or maybe not.
Yeah, let's not bring up what he
I
does.
just want to say we're looking forward to it. I'm glad we can help out Jeremie make the connection, and I think this night's gonna be pretty special.
Well, we're sure looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I'm gonna listen in for the rest of the night. You have a good show.
Sorry about that.
Schlong.
All right, man.
And that's Dean Reynolds.
So, Mitch, what are you're sitting here listening to us talk about all this stuff with Tony Stewart?
Did you learn anything?
Do you get excited about maybe seeing Tony Stewart race a dirt car when you see him on TV?
Freaking Hot Rod Stewart, dude. And I love him.
Yeah.
Do you go to dirt races, Mitch?
How do you go to a dirt race and complain about dust, man?
I have no idea.
I'm from Orange County. I'm from Orange County, New York, and I grew up with Middletown.
So if you went to Middletown,
Orange,
then you're used to
Orange
dust.
County
That's not even
Raceway.
dust.
That's not-
Orange County Raceway. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I know.
That's
I
oil.
worked there back in the day.
Middletown, New York.
Yeah.
That's dried up. That's dried up oil. That's not even
Yeah,
dust.
that's
Well, you know what I mean. They did a lot
Yep.
of dragsters and shit.
Yeah,
stuff
all
like
that different stuff.
You know what I mean? It was fun, man.
Yep. Yep.
Get dirty and oily. I love it, man.
Yeah, I love
I love
when you leave Eastern States at the end of the year and you're on 17 and you're going home, coming back up here.
Yeah.
And you got like this weird glue,
That matches your
rubber
shirt.
stuff. Yeah, everything's black. You're
And you
you're in a rest area and everybody's looking at you like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened to you?
You all fit
And
in when
you're-
you're all at the racetrack because you all
Yeah.
look the same. When
Yeah.
you leave, that's the problem.
Yeah, you got
Don't
like
stop.
black gook all over you and everyone's like looking at you.
You can't stop anywhere because you
"What
look
are
like a
what is-
dork.
Yeah. Yep.
How does anybody complain about dust at a track? I don't get it, man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
listen.
what are they
just-
going for?
it gives them
Everybody
something to complain about.
No matter what, you're never gonna make every fan happy.
Yeah.
No matter what
Yeah.
you do, it's not possible.
It could be a dust-free race, and they'll find something else to
Yep.
bitch about. The
Yeah.
food sucked. It was
Yeah.
cold. The
Yeah,
lines were
it's-
too long.
it's always how it is,
Couldn't
you
get
know?
in the bathroom.
I mean,
it
and
was
we're all
overflowing.
listen. We're guilty of that too. You
yeah,
know, like him
we've
and I.
all done it.
When we went out to when we were out at we went out to Ohio Speed Weeks, we went to a bunch of tracks we'd never been to before. And every track we had our positives. We said, "Oh, this
Yes.
was awesome. This was awesome. This is awesome."
Yeah.
And then one track we went to, we pull in the parking lot, and you can't even see the car in front of you. And we're like, "Oh no!" Like we're
And the whole week we heard about the
How
place.
bad it was.
It was the dustiest track that whole week that we were going to go to. That's what everybody warned us.
said it. Everybody.
In the race, there was no dust.
A great race, great track. And I thought I was in trouble because the surface looked like Middletown. It looked like Orange County had that black
It did.
dirt to
It
it.
was
I'm
all
like,
black city.
and we're like, oh
oily
no.
looking.
Yeah, we're like freaking. It's 110 degrees.
And there was more dust in the parking lot because when
Yeah.
he said
Exactly.
when we pulled
Yeah.
in the parking lot, the entire parking lot looked like beach sand. It was
Yeah,
like it was all powder. It was white.
My car
It was
had a
powder.
film on it from it. It was insane.
So just when you walked, you kicked up a dust trail. So we're like, if the parking lot is like this,
Oh,
what's the track
gonna be like? Yeah,
and there was
but-
no dust on the track.
yeah, it was a good night.
After all the warning that everybody told us.
Yeah, Chris, you got our next guest. Might want to turn your mic
We
on.
got a muted mic, is what we got.
There you
We
go.
got our next phone guest.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Daryl Hilkert. I called him, and when I was putting him into the sound system, I hung up on him. So I'm batting 1,000 over here. It's awesome. I only got 9 different things to do, and I'm
You
not
didn't
doing
hang up
any
on
of
the audience this time, I hope.
No, that hasn't happened yet. I've been waiting for that to come. But joining us on the air right now, Daryl Hilkert. Daryl, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. How you doing tonight?
We're doing good. Thanks for making
Doing
the trip
good.
out to the 31st lap, your first time through. Now, just for reference, we've had extremely good luck with having people on the show and then turn around and winning races. So,
No pressure.
no pressure.
Hey, I'll take that pressure any day.
I mean, right off the top, tell us a little bit about how the season's going over there at Canandaigua Motorsports Park.
Well, we've had a fairly decent start for our rookie season. There's a lot of competition there, so cracking the top 10 is always something nice to do, and a win would be awesome. We've had some ups and downs, but all in all, it's the step up is definitely a good thing.
How hard have you let me restart that question. How hard of an adjustment has it been for you jumping up from the Sportsman into the Modifieds?
The adjustment was no problem at all. The first time in the car, we went out there and we ran 7th place, led 14, 15 laps. It was comfortable. It just felt like I could drive the car now instead of, Sportsman. You're kind of overdriving the car. Everybody's bunched up and really equaled out with power and just a big block. You can make a slight mistake and recover from it easy enough. So it's definitely a good transition.
Tell us a little bit about some of the competition over there. I mean, from the outside looking in, the competition level is incredible. You look at the rundown, you got Alan and Danny Johnson, Justin Harris, Steve Payne, Matt Shepard,
Jimmy Phelps,
Billy Dunn. The modified program over there is incredible. When you're actually in the midst of it, how tough is it to compete? And then on top of that, how rewarding is it in those first times out to pull down top 10 finishes?
I really don't think it's hard to compete because these guys are professionals. They're good drivers. They're clean drivers. When we race together, they race you clean. They don't drive into you, try to move you. If you're in the way for a couple laps, they might do that. But I don't think we've had really a problem with that this year. We've had a couple of nights out where the car wasn't handling the way we wanted it to. And, if I seen the blue flag coming, we would just hold our line and let them guys keep racing.
Is there any one guy that that's kind of taken you under their wing and helped you out with the jump up to the big blocks, or are you kind of out there on your own?
We're kind of on our own. Eldon Payne he's given us a couple tips and helped us out with a motor. Our third week, we broke a valve, and we thought we were going to be out for a few weeks. And he had a motor coming, and he made a deal with me, and I bought the motor he was running, and actually. That motor we ran right up until last week. Just today I picked up my motor from Enders, and that motor is going in as we speak. Guys are down in the shop working right now. We're going through the whole car. We're taking this weekend off and trying to get our program in order, and hopefully next week we can go out and have a good run with that new power plant.
Are you running Enders for everything, or is your other motor a different power plant? Or
the other motor was a Burnett motor. It's a good, reliable, strong motor. It just doesn't seem to have a lot of mid-range. The Enders motor is definitely more driver-friendly for me. And Kevin and I have spoke quite a bit over there at Enders, and he's a good guy. And I think we got a good piece here to go out there. We got something that's capable of winning. It's just these guys got a lot of years of experience, and I got to show them I can run with them.
Who's your chassis manufacturer?
It's T.O.
What's been the hardest thing making the jump? You said you adjusted to the power well and you love having the power. What's been the hardest adjustment, though, that you've had to make as a driver?
I really don't think there's been anything that's really been hard. The longer races, of course, it works you out a little bit more, but when you're in that car, you're not counting laps. We're racing. I think having a longer race is more fun, and it really hasn't been any hard adapting at all. It feels natural. I mean, we've raced for years, and I think that's why we're able to run good with these guys. It's natural, it feels good, and really nothing too tough, I don't think.
What's the plan for your program as we head down the road here? Running weekly at Canandaigua. Once that season's over, are you gonna go out on the road and try to go some of the other places that you had been in the Sportsman, or is it just right now focus on Canandaigua and go from there?
Right now we're focusing on Canandaigua. I definitely would like to be able to go run some other tracks, especially this year with all the competition at Canandaigua. I mean, you can name 10 people that are real strong. I mean, Steve Payne is one of the best at Canandaigua in the last 10 years, and he's running 11th in points. So that just tells you how tough the competition is there this year. So I'd like to race some other tracks where the competition isn't so bad, but Canandaigua is my home track, and that's my roots. That's where I've always raced, and that's where we'll be till the end of the season.
What's your goal as a rookie in the division? Is it to get that first win out of the way, or is it just to be a consistent guy and score top fives, earn respect, and all that stuff? Or are you gunning for that first win?
No, we're gunning for the win. We need one. I told the guys when we decided to make this change, I said, it could be a couple years before we see victory lane again, because we're used to getting one or two a year. and boy, it sure would be nice. But that's what we're gunning for. We want to win, and that's where we want to be. We want to be in the winner's circle.
Who do you want to take a minute and mention as helping keeping that card going around the track at Canandaigua?
My brother Harry, he's been with me since the beginning. He pretty much wrenches all the time on the car. Randy Reynolds, Bob Frost. We kind of narrowed our crew down this year. We used to have a lot of people helping, but sometimes people get in the way, stuff gets missed. So we keep it with just a few of us working on the car. We all work together good, and just those three guys they're my main focus.
I have a question for you, because you're one of the first guys we've had on the show that is newly into the modifieds, fresh out of the Sportsman with the crate engine program. You now have seen the longer race in the modified. As competitive as the Sportsman division is over at Canandaigua, do they need more laps?
No, I don't think so. I think a 25 lap in the Sportsman was good. I'm sure if they were able to have more laps, all the guys would definitely jump for it. We all like to race, so of course the longer you can race, the more time you got to get to the front. And that's kind of the hard part with running with these guys. They got a lot of laps to catch us. So I mean, even when we're able to start up toward the front, in the first, few rows, them guys got a lot of laps to catch up to you. So the good races are if they go green to checkers, then you don't have to worry about the cautions bunching you back up. But I don't know. The Sportsman guys, I'm sure, would want more laps, so I'm not going to say no that they wouldn't, and it wouldn't be a good thing because I'm sure they want to race more than they're able to.
Well, we sure wish you the best on Saturday. How's it looking in terms of the handicapping? And you're off this Saturday. Next time around, anyway. How's it looking for the handicapping?
We've had a rough couple of weeks, the last couple of weeks, so hopefully it's going to put us right up toward the front, which we're hoping plays into our hands with this new power plant under the hood, and we're putting new torsion bars. We're going right through front to back of the car. We got a couple of weeks, so we're putting main focus on the car. Hopefully put that car in victory lane Saturday.
Well, we wish you the best. Thanks a lot for coming out and being part of the 31st lap.
Thanks, guys. You have a good night.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck, man. Thanks.
So, Daryl Hilkert.
You hate to jinx him, but you talked about right off the bat.
Right off the bat, he threw him under the bus. We put this. Yeah, you put him on the show.
And he's not racing this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
Well, I remember him when he was in the Sportsman. Didn't he have the hauler with the big, all the lettering and the graphics? And
Hollywood.
Hollywood, right? Hollywood.
Oh,
Hilkert. Yeah. You always knew when he was there.
I probably saw it. I don't remember.
Yeah, you would. If you saw it, you would remember.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he always had a really nice wrap job on his trailer, and that's what I love. That as a fan, I love when drivers put all that stuff on their hauler. Like Bob McCready. You knew Bob McCready's hauler. It had his face on it. It had his car on it. It had everything on it.
Sure did.
A lot of guys now, it's just the white hauler or the red hauler or whatever. Yes. There's not a lot on it. So unless you know it and see it weekly,
right.
You're not sure. Because as a kid, that's what you knew as a kid.
Yes.
That's so-and-so's hauler. Yes, they're there,
They're nice to look at, but I sort of understand why some teams don't do it or some drivers don't do it just because of the fact that in today's economy with finding sponsorship.
Oh, yeah, it's expensive.
You go from one sponsor to another. Sometimes you don't get these 3 or 5 year deals anymore.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get a year deal, and next thing you know, you got to redo it again, and it's awfully expensive to redo those haulers like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can see why they would keep
I understand
them
the white trailer too, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy
But it is nice to look at.
It is.
It's a big giant billboard. It's nice.
Oh yeah. It's entertaining for me.
Well, we just want to remind everybody once again that this is the 31st lap. We go live to tape every Thursday night, and the show's up almost immediately after, so be sure to check us out. If you don't keep the late hours, be sure to visit fingerlakes1.com on Friday or visit podcast.fingerlakes1.com. There's a host of podcasts available, including The Sauce, starring Tony Sometimes, the Finger Lakes Great Pod, looking at the local wineries, Weber on Sports, Tech Talk Live, Tiffany Collinsworth, Finger Lakes Look Ahead, and the Sports Talk Jocks, Dog and Polly, which goes up every Wednesday. Also rolling out a new podcast. It'll be coming up in 2 weeks, making its second episode with the musical Viral Spiral with P-Spot. If you want to see any of the shows as they happen, be sure to visit fingerlakes1.tv and look up the 31st lap. If any of our listeners want to call, feel free to ring in at 315-729-3999.
Anything with the poster online?
No. Somehow I've ended up. What's this? Yes, 30 minimum. I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully that's a bid. That's Sunny, though, so I don't think that she's throwing money up there. Right now, I think I was somehow backdoored into being the top bidder. I don't know.
She's got milk on her lips. She's got milk on her lips.
What is it up to?
Well, I had the last
you went to
official
10,
bet.
right?
I was at $10.
What'd you do?
You threw me under the bus at 32.
Oh,
no, you don't have to do that, man. But you guys keep going.
So it's at $10 at Mike right now.
It's $10 at Mike, but if he's still the top bidder, I will challenge it by the end of the show.
Okay, all right, we'll go from there.
Come on, folks.
Hey, where's
Sunny wanted 30 laughs for the Sportsman, but I thought it was a legit bid. Sorry.
All right, so we're waiting on bids here. Hey, you want to do results?
We need to do results. Yeah, we need to get through that stuff, and that list is only going to take 45 minutes.
It won't take that long. I'll go quick. I promise.
He hates results. I don't know why. This is a racing show. People want this stuff.
Yeah, I know, because not everybody gets their area auto, and not everybody gets to go to every track. So
not everybody has internet. Well, then they wouldn't be listening to us.
Well, he's up. We're moving around.
Go ahead.
Well, no, You know what I hate is I don't have the.
What's the matter?
I don't have my checkers and wreckers sound effects.
Oh.
You know how it goes. Where's the checkers and wreckers? Where's my sound effects?
Your sound effects.
Listen, I like my intros before I do it.
Checkers.
There it is.
Thank you.
Record.
All right, here we go. I'm going to go quick. Accord, rained out. Albany, Saratoga, Stewart, freezing. Moving on down through here. Big Diamond, rained out. Brewerton Speedway. A.J. Slideways, Alan Johnson, Bridgeport, Matt Harrell. Brockville, Kyle Dingwall picked up the win. Can-Am, Chris Rabbie. Canandaigua, Alan Johnson got 2 in a row. Cornwall, Kerry Terrence picked up the modified main event. Drummondville for the Dirt Car Series was rained out. Empire Super Sprints last week. Mikel Perrant, first career win up at the Mohawk International Raceway. And then last night it was the Cobra Truck Keeping at Utica Rome. Let's see, what else? Fonda Speedway, Jimmy Davis won the midweek show. Danny Varon won on Saturday night, held off Stuart Friesen. Dan Vaughter won at Fulton Speedway. Glen Ridge was Jeremy Wilder on Sunday afternoon. I-88 rained out last Friday, and of course we know what happened there on Tuesday night. Rolling on down through here. Lincoln Speedway rained out on Thursday night. They were running against the All-Star Show out at the Fonda Speedway, which was won by none other than Tim Schafer. I think Tim Schafer's theme song should be I Love New York, because he won 3 races in New York.
Yes.
He
agree.
had no other wins other than Mercer there on the series. So looking at NASCAR Nationwide, Elliott Sadler, the Truck Series, James Busher. And that was that. Obviously, NASCAR was off because Tony Stewart was...
Cup was off.
Yeah.
NASCAR is never off.
Well, it was off. Penn-Can rained out. Race of Champions Tuesday last week. Stuart Friesen won at 5 Mile Point, which I'm sure you talked about last week. Selinsgrove Speedway, the 358s were curfewed. Jeff Ryan won the late model portion of the show. Oswego Speedway this week, last Saturday night. Matt Hirschman won the Race of Champions event. Great race between him and Chuck Hosfeld. Ray Graham won the super event. That was a good race, too. I had fun. I went up, had a good time. I
went to that show last year.
Yeah, it was worth going to. If you ever get a chance to go up to Oswego for the Race of Champions, I would definitely recommend it.
Was the backstretch open?
Yes, there was a lot of people sitting on the
backstretch last year for that show.
Yep. Rolling on down through here. What did I just miss? Let's see.
You're on Oswego.
Yeah, Thunder Mountain. They rained out. I'm trying to go quick here so I don't take too much time. Woodhall was Eric Fisher won the event. Lernerville last week, where I went, the Silver Cup, Craig Delansky and Tony Stewart. And then they were rained out at Williams Grove on Friday night. Saturday night at Williams Grove, it was Cody Dara picking up the win. Lebanon Valley, Craig Delansky won the sprint car portion of the show, and then a surprise winner there in the 358th. Kim Lavoie picked up the win on Sunday.
That was a great run by Kimmy.
Yep, Mark Flack won the Saturday night portion. Yeah, she held off
Brett
Hearn and Bicchetti. Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. And then this week, last night down at the Utica Rome Speedway, again, mentioned Chuck Ebing won the sprint cars, and Tim McCready won the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series event, held off the O Show.
You done with your portion?
The Newport Nightmare, Jimmy Owens. So that's good for me.
Did you mention ARDC in there or no?
I did not.
I have it here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go with your
You went so fast I didn't catch all of it.
Yeah, I was just trying to get it quick because I know.
ARDC was at Mercer over the weekend. Steve Dravicki won that. Of course, last night Bridgeport had a modified race too. The Poker Hand Series
Richie Pratt.
3. Yes, Richie Pratt won the Tom Hager Remembered 43. ASCS National Tour on Thursday, they were at Sunset Speedway in Oregon, which if I'm not mistaken, is the racetrack that's owned by Greg Biffle. Reese Getz won his first ever ASCS National Tour event. Friday, they went over to Grays Harbor in Washington Friday and Saturday, both days at Grays Harbor. Shane Stewart won Friday, Wayne Johnson on Saturday. And then Wednesday, last night, they were at Placerville, California, Mason Moore. USAC, Indiana Sprint Week wrapped up Friday at Bloomington, Kevin Thomas. Saturday, they were at Hopstadt, John Stambro. Sunday, they were at Lincoln Park in Double D, Dave Darling won. Power Eye midgets were off, but the Power Eye series they have a micro series as well. And the only reason I mention this is because it was a big deal for micros. They paid a $10,000 to win micro race in Southern Illinois Raceway. This is like third or fourth year they've done this race. It's the Mike Phillips Memorial, and I think it's like 66 lap race. $10,000 to win. They had over 100 micros there. A bunch of the micros that run in PA were out there for that. Dicely and Ryan Greth and a bunch of them. And kid Chris Andrews won it. I'm not familiar with him, but there was a lot of Eastern micro guys there. Is that thing on my head again?
Yeah, it is.
Danica just fell on my head.
That's just funny. You know, I mentioned all those results. I mentioned Alan Johnson had 2 wins on the weekend. The funniest quote of the weekend, he finished second on Sunday night at Utica Rome to Stuart Friesen, who picked up the win there on the regular Sunday night. And he goes, I go, Alan, what's it going to take to get 3 in a row here in the weekend? He goes, Stuart Friesen to race somewhere else on Sunday nights. So I thought that was pretty funny that he said that in Victory Lane. Are you okay over there with that poster?
I'm trying to get it off my freaking head.
Is it just me, or is it getting a lot hotter in here in the last couple of minutes?
It's like 150 degrees in here,
I
but
mean,
it's always like this.
I think I'm losing weight, which is, I guess,
between all the electronic equipment, the bodies, the lights, it's like 150 degrees. And, of course, the shower curtains don't help because it holds the heat in.
Yeah. Well, Chris,
it's like a sauna.
You ready to go over there, Chris?
Yeah,
we got our next phone line
with us. Yeah, we got AJ right here. AJ Lloyd, regular over there at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. AJ, thanks for coming on the 31st lap.
Oh, there we go.
We got you?
I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Hey, why don't you start out just by telling us a little bit about how the season's going over there at Canandaigua Motorsports Park?
It's going pretty well. I don't know. You know, we started the year out just trying to get a little more seat time, and it's been going really well, actually. We got our first win this year.
You know, how tough was it to pick up that win? How rewarding was it to park your car in Victory Lane at Canandaigua Motorsports Park?
Well, you know, it definitely helped starting on the pole, but I mean, I can't say it was all that easy. I mean, there's a lot of strong guys behind us, and honestly, there's nothing worse than being chased down. You know what I mean? It's all that goes through your mind is at any moment they're going to be going by us, and we pulled it out. It was a real good feeling.
You know, what's it like the first time that you roll out with a sportsman car, knowing that you're surrounded by some of the top sportsman drivers in the Northeast at a track with a history like Canandaigua Motorsports Park? I mean, just pulling out for hot laps, did it give you butterflies, or was it all business?
You know, it does. Sitting on the line, you're just a ton of butterflies, you know, and then you know, you sit there waiting for the next guys to get done so you can go, and then the butterflies kind of go away, and you're at the point to where you're like, I'm ready to go, let's do this. And then, and there is, you know, especially Canandaigua, when I've heard it from a lot of guys, there's a lot of strong cars out there, and a lot of good drivers, especially this year at Canandaigua, and it just feels good to be able to run with them guys, you know.
Did it take a little bit for the significance of that first win in your rookie season over there at Canandaigua to sink in, or was it one of those things where this is what we set out to do, we did it, now on to the next goal?
You're saying the win this year, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely, like I said, really weren't expecting it. It was more we were looking for seat time and figure the car out, and I guess really what happened was I started off the year with an older car, the same car I had last year, and ended up switching over to a brand new car, brand new motor, and we figured we'd be fighting it for most of the year, but you know, you got to jump in and eventually figure it out. So we said, let's go with it. And the second week in it, we won the race with it. So it was a really good feeling.
Are you planning on getting over to, one of the fans is asking online, are you going to Utica Rome for the sportsman race coming up this weekend?
Actually, probably not. I'm actually on the Mass Turnpike right now in the in the motorhome heading to New Hampshire to hang out on the beach for a few days. So I would say no.
Where would you rather be, in the car or on the beach?
You know what? Much as I love it, it just it seems like we were starting to get burned out a little bit there, and this one single weekend, it might help us to just relax and regroup. I mean, last Saturday we started outside pole, and it was unfortunate that the guy that started behind me kind of first lap drove me over the cushion and just kind of didn't wreck the car or nothing, but it just it caught us off guard and just really messed our game up for the whole night. So I don't know. I think me and the crew are just kind of looking forward to a weekend away to just kind of calm down, regroup, and hopefully come back and get another win this year.
How much work does it take getting that car ready week in and week out? You know, we've talked to different guys and their maintenance programs and things along those lines, especially running the crate motor, and it's been all sorts of different situations. You know, what's your maintenance schedule like, and how much time are you putting in during the week to stay at the track week after week?
Well, you know, we obviously we wash it Monday night. Sundays we take off, and me personally, I work 6 days a week. I get out of work Saturdays at 1, and then, you know, obviously go load, go hook up, we go race. So Sundays we take off, Mondays we wash, and we pull the car right down to the bare frame to wash it. We make sure we get every part of the car. Other than that, we get it in, we go through it, and check every nut and bolt, make sure everything's good. And then usually Friday night, scale it. I mean, we get a good price, pretty solid nights in on the car, if nothing's wrong, you know.
I think you might be the first racer I've heard that said he'd rather go to the beach than go to the races. But I can understand you're getting burned out.
I know, can see where you get burnt out.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of work. It's more work than it is play.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's about mid-season now, you know, maybe a little after, but it's more of a lot of working on the car. We do put a lot of time in it, you know. The 3 nights, like I said, that we are working on it, we're there till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then everybody's got to go to work the next morning. But we just need to it's good to have this weekend to go and do this, to just kind of take our mind off, especially after a weekend where we had a really, really good start and it not going so well. So, like I said, we're just going to step back for the weekend and go from there.
It's got to keep the family happy too, right? To be able to take a vacation like this.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's about that too. I mean, I'd love to race every weekend, but to go hang out with family and friends on the beach, you got to do it every once in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
You got any plans to go out on and do some open water fishing?
You know, I haven't not really planned it. Really, my goal is to just go relax.
Go do nothing. Do nothing. Yep.
The last vacation I had or time off I had was last year at Dirt Week, and it was a long winter, and like I said, just looking to have a couple of days just kind of relax. We just, I guess, go with the days till what happens, you know.
Well, AJ, as always, for everybody that comes on the show, we want to give you an opportunity. Tell us a little bit about the sponsors and the people that help you out and get you to the track each week.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing is Tom and Darfox. Tom Fox, you know, he's been a major help to me. He's obviously, he owns the cars. You know, he put me in a brand new car. Not knowing, you know, rookie, you know, not knowing how good we're going to do, and it's been going really well. He got me this new car, plus I got the old car for a backup. So I mean, he's helped big time. I got the parts to go to the track with, parts, tires, whatever I need. I got Bex Recycling in Shortsville. They do it quite a bit for us. Gianni Construction out of I think he's out of Stanley. Marine Blue, Finish Line Auto Center, and
geez, I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but it's kind of hard when you're looking at the car.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It's always hard when you're
That's
on
what
the...
everybody does. They look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got most of them. You know, they're doing quite a bit. Well, I got Madskins, James Henry. He's actually a teammate, and he helps the bodies, and he's actually been a real great help the past 2 weeks with his new car. So definitely got to give him a big thank you.
Well, Chris, anything else, or you?
Yeah, I wanted to ask how that whole deal came together, where you got in the Fox car.
Well, I work for Tom. I've been working for him. It's been about 12 years now. Become a big part of the family, you know. I've known him my whole life. I mean, my family, him and his family have been close for many years. And, I helped him out pretty much when they started. I was with him with Scott Schrader and them and Steve and kind of was there for Tom to just keep an eye on the operation, keep an eye on what was going on with the cars and everything. And he asked me last year if I wanted to give it a shot. I said, sure. I mean, last year it was a Legends class at the beginning, and I said, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to win anything, but we'll go out and give it a shot. It's been good ever since, so hopefully we can continue with it.
Well, enjoy your vacation for sure, and we wish you the best when you get back to the track next Saturday. And, travel safe getting back from New Hampshire, because we got to see that car back in Victory Lane one more time this year.
I'm hoping so, at least once more. So other than that, I just got to give a big thank you to my crew. I got, Tabitha Fox, which is Tom's daughter, does a whole lot with me. We mostly during the week, as far as maintenance, just me and her. And I got my brother Randy and Randy Reynolds and Chris Hilton, Lloyd. So I just got to thank all them guys too.
Once again, we appreciate you coming on the 31st lap, and we look forward to catching up with you soon this season and talking about another win.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Man.
And that's A.J. Lloyd, driver of the Fox's Auto entry in the Sportsman Division over there at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. He's already picked up a win. He's going to enjoy his vacation, his week off on the beach.
It's funny, I take a week off and I go to the races. I mean, Baumes and I were talking about that when we were in Ohio. That was one of my 2 vacations. My first vacation, I go to Ohio this summer. Then the second one is to Knoxville. So it's funny. Everybody does their, different things. But, man, Baumes, it is so
Vacations
hot.
are made for racing.
It is so hot in here.
Yeah,
right
it's
like
warm.
150 degrees in here.
Man.
I think that's why Mitch and Mrs. Mitch took
Well,
off.
Took off, yeah. He was wearing it.
That screwball showed up in a snowsuit.
I know, man.
Like when he walked in, I'm like, dude, you got a tip on a snowstorm?
You're going to die in here. It is 100 degrees in here.
Yeah, it's plenty
You
warm.
could bake a loaf of bread on the desk. It's so hot in here. Man. But, wow. So we got through the guest quick there. Holy jeez, we were...
Still got one more? Yes, no?
Yes, we have one more. So this is...
still no activity over there on the poster?
No, there's not a whole lot of activity. Highest bid, it goes with a Super Dirt Week team with Dick Dragon Motorsports and a T-shirt from Finger Lakes 1. Get in there. Highest bid right now, standing bid is $8. It's not going to be tough to beat it.
Show the poster again. Maybe you get some...
How am I going to show the poster? What I got to do is I got to train it on mic. I got to get all this stuff stabilized. Go change the camera. Make sure it's in focus.
I thought you had it set up so you could see.
No,
it.
I changed it. I changed it back to you when
he left.
Yeah, when he took off. You can see kinda the poster there, but you can't see a whole lot of it.
Part of the other half was falling on my head.
The duct tape lasted halfway through the show because it melted. Because
it's so hot in here.
Because it's
plenty warm. 175 degrees in here.
You're in a giant concrete building that's got direct sunlight all day.
People must really not like us because we started with 5 of us and then we're just us.
Okay, and all right.
Well, there was actually 6 people in the room.
I know.
5 had mics.
Yeah. So is it the heat or is it just we're that bad?
I'm gonna chalk it up to the heat. I don't want to think that we're doing that bad. We got 13 people watching, which is a little low from where we usually are too. But we've had such regular technical failures last couple of weeks.
Mitch left and took all the audience.
I know.
Yeah.
How about that? Getting in trouble. Instead of us having to go to the principal's office, the principal came to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that why Jim came in to yell at us?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh.
I hope not. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
He didn't seem like he was here to yell at us.
No.
But I've had those lectures before. I need to talk to you, and like, great. You go in there, and it's like it's not a yelling at, but you're getting in trouble for something, even though you really didn't do anything, but you did just enough.
Yeah. It's like when you get, I'm not mad. I'm just a little disappointed.
Yeah, that's worse. I'd rather you just be mad.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier when you're mad, because I can be mad back at you. When you're disappointed, it's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
But so, what time are we having our final guest on here?
Well, we can get Josh anytime. I told him right around 8:30.
What time? Where are we rolling at?
Right now it's after 8:30.
Wow.
We've been on. We're going on an hour and 20 minutes right now.
Holy cow!
Yeah, this has been a
I didn't
bullet
realize
train of a show.
how fast it.
Yeah,
Wow.
we had a half hour. We had a half hour with Jeremie Corcoran alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was on the phone for quite a while.
No, we talked that long.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it when you're doing it.
No, not at all.
And I think we went longer before we went into the first phone guest.
Oh yeah. We were talking. We were good.
We
were catching up with
Mitch.
with Mitch Post, Rich's younger
Mitch Post, and
Rich's younger older
Jim,
brother cousin.
Yeah,
and Jim Tony or whatever the hell his name is.
Jim Cinecrope. Thank you. That's okay. So now we're gonna be in trouble. now there's no more disappointed. Now it's just gonna be.
Come on, Jim, laugh.
Pure consolidated anger. He's still downstairs. He'll just meet us down there.
Oh, he's downstairs.
Yeah, he's waiting down there with a baseball bat for you, Baumes.
He was running some tests on the mobile rig because the last couple times it's gone out, it's had some issues. So he's and he was listening to the MP3 of the show on the live stream on his phone while he was sitting there. He had the bud in his ear.
Yeah, he plugged his phone in. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's listening to that downstairs, and he just heard you. So
that's good.
Yeah,
yes.
any minute.
I don't hear the elevator, so
you'll hear the
good.
ding in the elevator.
Yeah, the ding. Yeah, that's always promising. Encourage everybody to visit the pages on podcast.fingerlakes1.com, 31stlap.com. Check out the Facebook page. Hit us up on Twitter, iTunes, Stitcher Radio. It's all under the 31st Lap. You can find Dog and Polly, The Sauce, Finger Lakes Grape Pod, Tech Talk Live, variety of local Finger Lakes 1 podcasts and content, and of course the new one, the musical Viral Spiral, starring P Spot. Of course, to view the show as it happens, check out the 31st Lap on FingerLakes1.tv.
He just laughed.
If you've got something to say, ring us at 315-729-3999.
He had to explain it to me last week.
You know, it's nice. So
it's P-Spot. It's not that elaborate.
You know, it's nice to have the other people on from other shows because
I think this is one of the first crossover shows.
Yeah, you know, and it's good because we'll cross over. They'll cross over with us. We can cross over with them. And
is it good? Because that means you're going to go visit their show?
If we get invited.
Hey, I'm gonna check it out now.
Are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to check it
on
out.
It?
I don't know. Hey, if we ever got the call to do it, maybe I would. Who knows? You never know. You know? Hey, you got to promote, right? Isn't that what we always say about promoters? You got to promote.
You got to get your name out there.
You got to do it. So
you got to find a way to do it.
Since Jim is downstairs listening, does that mean when we're done, he's going to have a 12-pack of Miller Lite waiting for us downstairs?
Oh, good Lord, please.
Is that the plug that, hey, I'm thirsty. I need somebody to have that for me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Here's a shocker. Baumes needs a Miller Lite. Shocker. You're wasting away over there, aren't you? It's so hot in here. I need to replenish my fluids, man.
Yeah, because that's the way to do it. I want a Gatorade or a cup of water.
They have a warning sign on saunas before you enter. Do not stay in there for a long period of time. There's a reason.
Well, I can get Josh on the phone. Have you got a Dick Dragon Motorsports update for us?
Actually, I do not because nothing has changed with
Wait a
the
minute.
standings
Let me get you on camera so you can finish it. There you go. Go ahead.
Who was on me?
Since I did the update of the points last week, nothing has been updated. The race points for all the individual races that have happened since last Thursday are on there, including Bridgeport last night, are on the website. But I haven't totaled anything up and configured the standings because I try to do that in like one lump sum in bunches. So I'm going to do that after this weekend is over. Then I'll reconfigure the standings again. So as far as standings-wise, nothing's really changed.
I knew I was doing pretty good. I was in the top 15.
Yeah,
there.
you were doing really well.
Yeah, Twin 20 got me right now, though. John Tiff, I'm coming for him. But other than that, yeah, I was doing well. I was there.
Twin 20s is kicking the crap out of the 61 team there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, so.
You know who that is, right?
61 team?
Yeah.
It's got to be Zupi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So their teams are exactly the same except one driver. They got one driver different.
Mahaney, and who does Zupi got?
No, they both got Mahaney.
Oh, do they both have Mahaney?
I forget. I think John's got maybe Go Down or Laubach, and Zupi took Dwayne.
Oh, see,
Dwayne doesn't
go
go.
down would have been the pick this
Dwayne
year.
doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, go. I think
teams-
Dwayne's killing me too.
The teams with Go Down this year are doing very well because
he's going to all
everywhere and he's doing well.
He's doing well at every race he goes to.
I'm
Yeah.
regretting not taking it myself.
I know, me too. But hey,
But I'm still doing good. So
yeah, I'm fine. I'm in top 15 because the Dreamweaver is kicking butt in the BRP tour.
Dreamweaver.
yeah,
How many people do we know that have said, "Man, I wish I could have that nickname"?
The Dream.
the dream.
Yep, I'm the Nightmare. No, wait, that's Jimmy Owens. The Newport Nightmare.
Newport.
I like the O Show
Nightmare.
better, but that's me.
Me too.
Yeah. So, well, Chris is going to get the next guest on the line here.
Getting a hold of Josh Decker.
Decker.
Nice.
That's the name of the week this week.
That's a theme this
Yep.
week.
Yep. Again, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, update: Denny Decker is doing better. The surgery went well yesterday, and reports are that once the swelling goes down, they're hoping everything will go back to normal. So that's the hope.
Let's hope so.
You know,
that's
and,
a bad
I know
deal.
the
I feel
family-
so bad for that family. They
Yep.
worked so long and hard to put this race together.
Oh, I know.
And nobody in a million years ever
Thought
envisioned
that how-
ending it this.
Yeah,
way
how it was going to go.
played
Yeah,
out,
and it was
yeah.
unfortunate, you know, and I know Ron and Jamie were upset about it too. The people that run the place, from all I've heard. And
Yeah.
if you're looking for updates, you can find them on Facebook. You can find updates on Dirt Track Digest in the forum. Go there, check it out, and also you can find them on. I believe they're doing updates on Race New York's forum as well. So
Yeah.
any of those are places where you can find updates about Denny Decker if you're wondering how he's doing. And you know, again, we send our thoughts, prayers along to the family, and hopefully
Yes,
everything turns
absolutely.
out for the good there.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully in the next few days we'll get some good news.
Yeah, we're still waiting on more developments on that in terms of long-term prognosis. But right now, the good news is just simply that the swelling is going down, and
that's the issue they
Right.
believe with the spinal cord, and that is the plus.
Right.
You know, and I'll
There's
give a lot
been
of
great news so far, but you hope to get further great news. The fact that he
Right.
can get his feeling back.
right, and I give the chassis builders and manufacturers a lot of credit. You saw online that both of them posted
Yes.
stuff to say, "Hey, this
I
is
love that. I've never seen that before.
this is we went through the car, we saw the car. This is what we think happened. This is what happened, and here's how you can maybe correct it." Or
yeah,
some
they
way
were
you can
giving
stop
some
it from
people
happening.
some tips. I know I read it, and the gentleman who built the car suggested some other drivers out there to lower their seats to get
Yep.
their head away
A little
from the
bit
roof
away
because
from
it's
the
so
roof.
close sometimes. And
Yep.
you know, you don't see that very often. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because it probably does. We just don't get to read
Right.
it or see it.
Right, and it's nice
So,
to be able to see it.
Yes,
and, yeah.
I thought that was great.
So that's that
Kudos to the gentleman that wrote the letter and put that
Yep.
out there and built the car.
Yep. Again, that's all available on our forum too, Dirt Track Digest.
Yep.
In the forum, a lot of stuff going on. Of course, big talk race. Crate race here this week at Utica Rome on Sunday night.
Yeah.
No pure stocks, they're off. So, paying $500 to win and $50 to start. Again, it's just a race. They put it on the schedule back, I would say early May. And just want to give the 602 guys a chance to come on down and check out Utica Rome. You know, we have a few guys that run their weekly in the crate in the regular sportsman division. We still have open sportsmen on a weekly basis.
Right.
So we have a few of the guys that run in the 602s with 602s. So this is their chance to.
Oh, the rest of the divisions are all normal show, I assume. Right?
Yep, modified sportsman and pro stocks. Again, pure stocks are off this week.
Kevin
So
Ridley's going to make the trip
taking the
down,
place.
and
Yep.
Eric Jaguars put a $100 bonus up for each of the top finishing Canandaigua Motorsports Park and Fulton drivers. So
Yep.
that's some extra money going home with a couple
Again, and
couple
500
guys going out. Yeah,
500 to win. Originally was 400 to win, and John Tiff and I got together. We talked about it on the way home from I-88. We're both chipping in a little cash to get it up to $500 to win. So
No luck getting them.
not yet. It was going directly to
You,
voicemail. I shot him a text too.
Anybody want to take a shot and throw out picks for the Friends of Mike on Saturday?
yeah, I'm going
It's a big race.
it's 10,000 win, 1,000 to start, or is it 5,000?
1,000 to start.
5,000 or
10
10,000?
grand to win,
10
1,000 to start. Because
1,000 to
last year it
start.
was 20 grand. But
Right.
they didn't
And
do
that's an awesome
that
event.
much
That's much like
to
what
start.
they do that, much like the Tom's Ames race that we did out at Rolling Wheels. And again, I haven't been on the show since that event, so I do want to take a chance to. I know
Yeah.
everyone's probably done it when I wasn't here, but I do
Yes.
have to say thanks to everybody.
It
at
was
Dirt.
only me. I was the only one there.
Yeah, I got to thank everybody from Dirt Car. Joe Skutnicki, Jeff Hockman.
Yep.
They could not have been more help for that show, and without them, that show would not have been a success like it was.
Yep.
You know, it was a great night to honor Tom. You know, they really, really helped us out, and I cannot thank them enough for all that they've done. You know, I give them a lot of grief about certain things, but it's still awesome that they were willing to work with us and do what we did. We did the live auction on the PA system at the track down in front on the front stretch. Raised money that went into the purse.
Yep.
We got rid of all the T-shirts. We did the Chinese auction. We did so much, and I know we've already been talking about it amongst ourselves about what we're going to do next year. So
nice. We'll
see how that all come together here in the off season. That's the plan, because this year we didn't really have that much time to put that show together.
Right.
We did it in a few months, because of Tom's untimely passing and everything. And
right.
I think it was a great day, and the after party was awesome.
Oh yeah, we that next Thursday when I came on, I talked a lot about the show. I tried to cover a lot of stuff like you just did.
We got some picks coming in too, by the way.
We had a live call-in that Thursday night.
Okay.
By Dan.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, which no one really knew what he was talking about.
He kept trying to talk to me about the things that happened that night, but none of the listeners know what the hell we're talking about unless they were there.
Right. There was a good group of people still there. I mean, I made it till what? About the sun came up, and I'm like, I gotta sleep.
Yeah.
I gotta get a little bit of sleep.
I left, and you were still sleeping in your
tea. Everybody was.
That's why I didn't bother you to wake you up to get my stuff out of your tea.
It wasn't even a
I'm
worry.
I'm not even going to bother.
I needed the sleep because I had to get home. I couldn't. I didn't realize what time it was. We were just all sitting and talking. And
next
we didn't
thing
start
it was starting to get light.
Yeah, I mean, it was like,
crap.
Well, we didn't get done with racing or anything with you got to do your interviews and you're talking and all that. And I
it
didn't
was
get
already
done
late.
It was like 1 o'clock by the time that got done. So then we go over there and we're just sitting down. We're talking to Uncle Jeff, his sister's there, Patty and her family. And we're all, we're talking, Bob Miller coming over, and we're all talking racing.
The Pabst Blue, the PBRs there, because there was a ton of those left.
It was awful. And, but it was fun. It's just a great time.
I had an awesome time. And I talked about it on the air afterwards. That I felt awful that I couldn't have been more a part of the event because I obviously had to work the front gate.
That's understandable.
So I didn't get to go out on the front stretch and do all that stuff, and I missed the toast and all that.
Yeah, but
so I felt bad because of that, because I really wanted to see that stuff.
Right.
But just to be there was awesome, and the after party it
was so much fun. It was again great knowing the family and spending time with them and. I was glad that they enjoyed it. That was the ultimate goal, to make sure Tom's memory went down well, and the family, his dad threw the green flag for the pro stock race.
And I didn't realize that until I started looking through the pictures afterwards later that week that his dad threw the green flag. I didn't realize that. That was awesome.
That was cool. And then again, the toast in Victory Lane was that was pretty cool. Everybody wearing the yellow shirts came down and got to go on the track, and again, it was just an awesome event, and it was so much fun to be a part of it. And just to be there for it.
I meant to ask you, because you did the silent auction too. Mm-hmm. It just dawned on me. Did anybody ever put out the free team?
I don't even know if we did or didn't. I don't know if we did.
Because I know Sonny was doing that stuff. She might be still online.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have
forgot all about it that day.
We had so many things going on that day.
We had all the conversation. The conversation online is already well past this, and they started throwing out picks. Now they're talking among themselves.
Oh, picks for the Friends of Mike Ray. Sorry. Yeah. All right, back to that. We'll get back to that. I just want to make sure I got my my thanks in for that, because again, I didn't.
Right.
I haven't had a chance to be on, but there was people that from the show too that were there, and it was fun. But picks for the Friends of Mike Ray.
You got a pick for the Friends of Mike?
Ryan Go Down.
That's a good one.
It's kind of what I was leaning at too. Just because it's been
so good.
He's been so good this year, but now that you took him, I got to go somebody different now. Give me a second. You got anybody in mind, Chris? Because you took who I was going to pick.
You can pick him.
Nah, I got to go against you.
Then pick Pouch Jr. He's been good. He's been good too.
You got anybody? Who you picking?
I was going to say probably going with Pouch Jr.
Okay, all right,
so
that's good.
We got some people calling for Scooby online.
Yeah,
Matt Shepard's a pick.
Super Matt.
I'll go with Laubach,
the Quaker Shaker.
That's fine with me. He's on my team, so I'll go with
Scooby.
It's double point night too for the fantasy league.
Well, great.
Yeah,
that'll screw
go
me.
Laubach.
Where does T-Mac is coming down as well.
Yeah, Timmy will be there. Right. Danny will be there. Shepard will be there because Canandaigua was off, so a lot of those guys will be there. Tompkins is going to be there. Yep.
That's awesome.
No red cars because Fulton's running.
Yep.
No Grandview cars because Grandview
did
not give the night off to the
modifieds. Mitch Post texted in his pick. He said he's hoping that I don't even know if Will Cagle. His pick was Will Cagle.
Well, if it's any consolation, Kenny Brightbill picked up a ride. He's running
that's
Mike
cool.
McAleer 6.
Yeah, yep. So he'll be there. That's awesome.
First race he's run all year, I think.
Yep. One race deal.
Yeah.
I was reading about it in the paper. The Ariado.
Which that car is okay.
Not a bad car.
No, I mean Dwayne's run that car a couple of times. It's a decent car. It's
You have
not.
to make some
I
modifications
don't expect
to
him
fit
to go out and
Kenny
win with
Brightwell
it,
in there,
but-
though.
Yeah,
he
I
is
know,
a
right? He's
tall
big
dude.
Sausage fingers, man. That guy's got some hands.
He could palm your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our picks for Friends of Mike.
So we got Laubach go down in Billy Jr.
We putting an adult beverage
Yeah,
on it?
we should
A what?
put a
Adult
little weight.
beverage.
Put a little weight
Beverage,
on it.
Evan, sure.
Adult beverage on
Sure.
it. All right. Highest finisher. Don't have
Yeah,
to win. Highest
right.
finisher.
Highest finisher.
All right. All right. So what do you think? We giving up on the last one?
Yeah, I'm not having any luck getting hold of Josh. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened. I told him between, X
We
time
run
and X
over?
time, and God, yeah.
What did you tell him?
Yeah, I told him 8:15, 8:30. We're already at 9 o'clock now. We're
Yeah.
an hour and a half in, and
Well, so goes everything else then. I think we're about at the curfew here.
yeah, we're at the top end. We got to figure out a way to now load this whole thing up onto to YouTube. So guys, keep your eyes open on YouTube. Keep an eye on Facebook, and we'll have all that stuff up there. Have we got any last minute plugs that we want to get in before we wrap
I
this
got
thing
my
up?
I got my Utica plug-in. I'm good.
Just the Super Dirt Week Challenge. Don't forget it. It's around the corner. I don't want to rush the season away, but the Fantasy League players, take a look at the website and find the link to the Super Dirt Week Challenge if you're going to play. At least look it over and get an idea what drivers you might pick. I know it's hard because you don't know who's going to be there yet, but most cases you got a pretty good idea what drivers are going to be there.
I did get one more pick in via text.
Who sent one?
Dino's picking Sammy Piazza. So
Good luck with that.
That's a different pick.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
Hey, you never know.
No, I mean I know he won there.
Stranger
a couple weeks
things
ago, but
have happened.
yeah. Well, that race has got a history of different
guys
winners
winning that
sometimes,
race. Yeah. I don't believe Pouch Senior's won it yet.
No, he has not.
That's one guy you can't count him out.
No,
none of us. That's who I should have picked.
And none of us picked him.
I know.
But
But
I'll
he
tell you
never
what,
won it. He's led up to
but
lap
here's
like
the-
90, 95.
But here's the thing: he's never won that race after dominating every season there. This year, he's not dominating, so probably win.
Yeah, he might win it. So, well, that's it. That's a wrap.
We good to go?
I'm good to go.
Yep, I'm headed back home. We're headed off to Delaware in the morning.
Well, good luck. Have a safe trip for that.
Going to Harrington, Delaware for a derby out there. Then we'll be back in Dunkirk on Sunday. Tuesday night in Dunkirk at the Chautauqua County Fair. There was 73 cars, and that's just qualifying night. One of the heats.
Is that one division?
No,
or is that multiple divisions?
No, each class had its own heat. Like one of the heats had 23 cars in it. It was crazy.
Wow,
it was
23
a full
cars.
night. Yeah, that's a feature at most county fairs. And they were packed, and they're gonna have more there Sunday. It's gonna be a ball.
Awesome.
We were on the road. We were in Dunkirk Tuesday. We were in Whitney Point Wednesday night. We're in Delaware tomorrow, and then we're back in Dunkirk Sunday.
Well,
Hey, when are you gonna get one of those like ESPN does with the Cup race at Watkins Glen, where you got a camera on a zip line? When are you gonna get one of those? You can run it right over the pit, back and forth with a little remote control. You got to hook that up.
We've talked about that.
Have it?
Yeah.
They
Yep,
do that.
we're-
They do that during some of the Supercross races
Yeah,
too.
they do
Because
that
we
in
can-
football even. NFL does
Yeah.
it. They got a camera behind the quarterback.
Because we figure we could rig up one of the GoPro cameras on that. We could have the zip line set up, and then basically you would have like a fishing reel, in theory, on the other end of it attached to it. So you would slide on it, and then the line would go in and out, and it would just be looking down, so you go over the top of the cars.
That'd be neat.
So I don't know. We've talked a little bit about it. We may or may not have gone out and bought the additional GoPro camera so we can try it down the line.
Right.
Literally down the line.
Yeah. So,
Zip line.
So we'll see what happens. And of course, congratulations. Sonny reminds us that Justin Henderson's getting married tomorrow. So got who filled in here for a couple weeks.
Sucker.
Good luck, buddy.
Hey, before we go off, I forgot to ask you. I meant to earlier, but there was so much going on. Last week we had all the Guerreris on, and we talk about the whole you go on the show, you win. Did any of the Guerreris win last week?
Paul did.
Okay.
It was on Facebook.
We got one.
And it was
of
on
There we
Twitter.
go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
We got one of them.
All right, we're good to go.
So yeah. So
Because we were laughing about it, like
Yeah.
how you
Yep.
can't all win. Only
Yep.
one of them is going to be
Yep.
able to win.
yeah. So the trend continues. We'll
That's
see what
good.
happens. Saturday, Canandaigua was closed, but that doesn't mean there's not more shows coming. For John Baumes, Mitch Post, Mike Mallet, Vincent Acropi, this is the 31st
Shalom.
lap. Thanks for joining us.
Tell me www.fingerlakes1.com.